everyone, joining today at YoIndiaTV studios is Sreekrishnan. Sreekrishnan has a great socio-political background. She is an Indian American who has been a long-time resident of Assembly District 26, and she'll be running for the state assembly elections in 2024. The primary is in March 2024, and let's talk about all her work and the beautiful things she has done for the community from quite some time now. So welcome, Tara, to YoIndiaTV with me, Jasleen, Khanuja. And first of all, it's December of 2023. Holidays are around the season. How's the feel?
Well, it's great to be here, and I see you everywhere around town. So exciting to be on this side of the camera and to be interviewed. And it's a really exciting time. It's a bit of a whirlwind for me. I've been running for 3 weeks now for the March election because there was just a vacancy about 3 weeks ago. So it's been an exciting holiday time for me. I decided to run during Thanksgiving, so I didn't get a lot of food or rest, but I hope you've had enough for the both of us. And it's been a time where I get to introduce myself to folks. I'm often the behind-the-scenes person, so it's taken a bit of courage to get out of my shell a bit, but people have been really warm and receptive.
So the campaign is in full swing, as I hear, and we have already heard a lot of appreciation, especially in the Indian American community. So first of all, for those who don't know, what comprises of Assembly District 26?
I've lived in the district since I was a little kid, went through public schools there. It's Cupertino, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and parts of San Jose and West San Jose. So some of the school districts are Cupertino Union School District, Fremont Union High School District, Sunnyvale School District, Santa Clara Unified. Comprises 8026.
And you've been working on the Santa Clara Board of Education. So tell us a little more about your functions and work.
So I currently serve as Vice President of the County Board of Education. So we're an ally to youth and advocate for public education. We serve the 31 school districts in the county. We manage a balanced budget of $300 million. There's 7 trustees on the County Board of Education. We provide business services, technical services, professional development to our schools to serve our youth. We also manage our own programs. We partner with districts on special education. We have alternative education, early learning, which is very important. We serve our county, court, and community school students. And we're an appellate body for certain local school district decisions.
So what kind of decisions or priorities are there with the county board?
I can name 3. One would be strengthening early learning, through facilities, through strengthening workforce in our early learning settings. And I've served on the Strong Start Coalition. That's been a strong advocate on that issue. And I think early learning is super important in terms of closing our academic achievement gap. It all starts with early learning. Another top priority has been student wellness and health and wellness for our youth, and really serving the whole child. So we've expanded our wellness centers across our county schools. So really bringing services to the students at school sites. And we've seen great progress in that. And what's very special about our wellness centers is they infuse youth voice. So they all have a youth advisory board on our wellness centers. And all of the reports have been super positive in terms of students accessing these services. Another priority of mine has been environmental education. And I've been a big supporter of expanding our climate action programs at the county. We've been able, our staff's been amazing in our environmental literacy department. They've hosted summits, provided resources to teachers, and actually this past year, statewide, climate change education is now a requirement in California schools. So those are some of our priorities at the county office.
Wonderful. So I've also been seeing that you have been working at the back office of State Senator Dave Cortese, and you've served as a legislative director. A lot of legislations have come during his tenure, and I know there is a lot of work that goes behind the scene. So, can you summarize what were the key highlights during his tenure?
Yeah, and I've worked in every level of local government. So was first at the city, then county, and then now in the state and working for State Senator Dave Cortese. So some of the priorities, my passion, of course, is education. And so the senator passed a bill, which I got to work behind the scenes on, around avoiding overdoses and death from fentanyl at school sites. So that was SB 10, authored by Senator Cortese, and making schools safer for students when it comes to opioids. The senator also authored a bill around water conservation in buildings, SB 745, which was very exciting in the climate space. And then the senator had a lot of bills around workforce. So strengthening the pipeline in the construction industry, making it safer for workers across a variety of businesses and industries. So those have been some of his priorities over the past year.
So, when you work in the back end, like what kind of challenges you have to overcome when different bills float in, and there is a journey that every bill has from the inception through becoming a law when Governor Newsom signs it. So, like, what kind of role exactly have you played?
Yeah, and I think that's something unique about my candidacy is I sort of know how the sausage gets made, and know what it takes to get a bill signed into law, which is another reason I'm passionate about running. The senator had 15 bills signed into law last year. And so there's a lot of prep work before introducing a bill. And there's a lot of work with stakeholders. So a bill goes through the committee process and then hopefully heads to the governor's desk. So a lot of the work folks don't see. It's like the behind the scenes conversations, and it's removing opposition, hopefully working with stakeholders, explaining the bill. I remember one bill I worked on a couple years ago. There was a lot of debate from opposite sides. So the sides were local governments, and then First Amendment advocates were sort of the two sides. And I remember the meeting. There were a lot of lawyers in the room, and it all came down to one word. Folks were debating one word. And then I take a great deal of pride of giving the one word that eventually removed everyone's opposition. And I think the word was promptly. And that was the word we stuck in the bill after my suggestion. And then everyone agreed on it, and the bill was signed into law.
Congratulations. So that's quite a bit of the hectic work that goes around to give us the right legislations so that wherever the gaps are in the society, those can be correctly filled. So you and Senator Cortese have really been doing a phenomenal job on this. And I know you also run a non-profit. You have founded a non-profit. So when was it, and what does it actually do?
Yeah, so it was about 5 years ago. I joined with 3 other women, and it's a nonprofit that works with students across the county and across the Assembly District. And we've actually expanded to San Mateo County now. We, this past year, hired our first full-time executive director, and we're a 501c3. So the nonprofit engages students in the environmental sciences. And empowers them to use their voice to be policy advocates in terms of combating climate change. So I remember it started years ago just with students in a team that I got to mentor in Cupertino, the Cupertino Youth Climate Action Team, and just started with a few students at the Cupertino Library, and has expanded to teams across the county. They go out for grants, they speak in front of big tech companies, they do professional development, workshops, leadership development, and they've accomplished so much. They've updated their city climate action plans, they've moved forward legislation, they've had changes in their schools, they do Earth Day festivals at their schools and all sorts of great things, and they've even created environmental literacy curriculum that's shared across our local schools. So they inspire me, and when working with students, I like to just take a step back and watch them lead.
That's really, really wonderful. So, it's not easy to step into the state legislation, Tell us a little more about what's happening at the legislative office now, about the vacancy, and how you are an apt and able candidate to step in and step up to this position.
Well, thank you for that question. Well, I think, given my work experience, I'm really ready to hit the ground running. Now is the time of year, we call it interim recess, and this is when we craft our legislation. So legislators aren't at the Capitol right now, but it's a time where staff works with legislators to think about what bills they want to introduce in come January when we're back in session. And so those are sort of the steps I'd take as a legislator, which I get to do in my day job right now. I'm someone who's passionate about bringing folks' ideas in the district to the Capitol. We call them district bills. And, one of the bills I'm getting to work on was a local disability rights advocate that reached out to Senator Cortese with their idea that came from their own lived experience during their time as a student. And it's a bill to make schools safer for students with disabilities, especially. So that's what I'm passionate about, is working with people in the community and bringing their ideas to the state capitol to make everyone's life better.
So, what exactly are some of the points that you think make District 26 stand out from other districts? What are the most pressing issues that you would like to focus on when you step up?
Yeah, and I've been getting to talk to a lot of community members, and of course have lived in the district most of my life. I would say the district cares about education. A lot of folks come to Assembly District 26, are their families coming for a better education for their children. I'm a daughter of immigrants that immigrated from India, and they came to Assembly District 26 for...
Were they from a technical background? Because it's Silicon Valley.
Yeah, my dad works in tech. So that's another special aspect of Assembly District 26. So there's an emphasis on innovation and an emphasis on education and preparing the next generation. And I think from talking to my community members, we want to make our communities stronger, safer, more affordable, hopefully, so the next generation can also thrive in Assembly District 26. Another unique aspect of the district, we're a very diverse district. About half the population is Asian American. So we have a very high concentration compared to other assembly districts.
Well, that's really, really awesome, and I know you'll be doing an incredible job with all the experience and the enthusiasm that you bring to the table. You being raised here in US, so you have seen the system as a child. Your parents immigrated. You are not the first generation immigrant. I think that makes you stand out as an Indian American candidate who understands Asian heritage, who carries the legacy, and who has imbibed the beliefs of the American culture as well. It is also believed that here in the state of California, the democratic belief is also ingrained from the childhood itself. So I don't know when you went to school how much of it was discussed, but I know you are a Democrat. And how does it make you stand as a better candidate to the Republicans? What philosophies do you believe in?
Yeah, well, the district is likely to elect a Democrat. We have a high population of Democrats, but independents too. So I think folks in the district, they care about financial responsibility, making sure we're not wasting taxpayer dollars. I care about that too. They care about strengthening our schools. They care about safeguarding environmental protections and not rolling back protections for our environment. And they care about jobs and housing. And, safety is a big priority for the district as well. And I think Democrats want to address the underlying causes of public safety and crime, like getting folks into good jobs, getting them into the middle class, and keeping them housed.
That's really wonderful, and I think you're totally ready as well, after talking to you, and I believe so are you. So please support Tara Sreekrishnan for State Assembly for Assembly District 26. We are looking for the primary in March of 2024. Any final words to all the viewers of YoIndiaTV?
I would just like to give everyone a big thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. Remember to go out and vote, whatever you vote for. And thank you for participating in our democracy.
Thank you so much. And all the best.